Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Family First Life Southeast New Agent Training Call. I'm Leticia McKinley. I was asked to, of course, just to share and just to give you guys a more of an insight on how to go about your final expense appointments, and pretty much just to share and just to help you guys, get better at, the final expense sales. So I'm very honored, very humble to be able to give back, and to share and to help you guys in the field. And hopefully, this does help someone. But before I go into, of course, the actual final expense sale, I wanted to touch firstly on some mindset stuff that I believe that will help us in reference to how we see these clients and how we help these clients, right? So, of course, with final expense, these appointments, to compare final expense and mortgage, right? It's a totally different appointment from a mortgage appointment, right? Because, first of all, with these appointments, my mindset going in is definitely more assumptive because, for one, it's people that have actually went online, putting their information on Facebook, because most of the leads that we help clients with are Facebook leads, right? So they've already taken their time out to be researching about burial coverage, take their time out to put in their name, their date of birth, their address, their favorite hobby, their color, whatever that case may be. And so my mindset going into these appointments are, for one, these people need my help and they need my help right now, right? So this is a more assumptive appointment versus with a mortgage appointment where you're trying to build or to find a need. With these clients, the need is already there. You're just going there to making sure that you're filling that order, you're filling that need, okay? Now, the other thing I wanted to point out as well, mindset wise, with these clients is, of course, they're older, right? So they've been around the block a couple times, right? So with these clients, you have to, of course, said before, be very assumptive, let them know that you're there to help them and put them in a better spot. And also, because a lot of these clients are on a fixed income, right? Their housing might be, a little bit different from a mortgage appointment. So don't prejudge, of course, going into these appointments because, even if you're going to like a trailer or in the hood or whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody needs our help. So always have that, of course, first in the forefront of your mind that, everyone needs help. It doesn't matter where they're from or who they are. We're just there to help them. The other thing I want to touch on, of course, real quickly, mindset wise, is of course making sure that with these type of leads, guys, I said before, because they're final expense, you need to be able to be booking anywhere from 30 to 40 appointments every single week consistently to be able to have one, your lead flow coming in consistently, and to one, have your income coming in consistently, right? You have to book more of these appointments as well because their premiums are a little bit lower than it would be with a mortgage appointment, right? So you have to stack your odds higher in reference to final expense. So your goal every week, if you want to submit anywhere from 10 to 12,000 every week, would be to make sure that you're having 30 to 40 appointments on your run days. And typically we run 3 to 4 run days. And so if you're running 10 to 12 appointments on those run days, then definitely should be able to hit that 30 to 40 appointment number. And if you're consistently buying your leads, right, in order to get to your 30 to 40 appointments, you need to make sure that you're putting anywhere, you have at least 60 to 100 brand new leads per week. So you're putting in anywhere from maybe like 1,000 to 1,500 every week as well in your business. And that would be able to get you your 10 to 12K submit every week. And then your 7 to 10K, I would say, issue paid every week, right? So as long as you're putting the odds in your favor, you know that with these appointments, you're gonna have a little bit more of a, I would just say BS, right? A little bit more BS than you would typically normally. Just make sure that you're putting the numbers more in your favor. That way, when those things come across to you, you have a lot of people to see. And so you're not emotional about your day or emotional about your appointment because you have so many appointments and so many people to see, right? So just want to touch on that real clear, real quickly, real clearly, so that everybody have that mindset going into these appointments. Know that for one, you have to set yourself up for success, and for two, don't prejudge these clients going in. Okay. All right. Now, before I touch into my in-home, I would definitely advise you guys to get like a piece, like a pen and a paper, to write down these steps, because I've outlined 6 simple steps that I think are necessary for final expense success, right? And I think if you guys follow these 6 simple steps, you should be good to go. Typically, my final expense in-home appointments are anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes top. It's nothing longer than that. I mean, I've heard people say that they spend 10 minutes on just a why, and I don't see why that's necessary. But I mean, whatever works for you, you can definitely do that. But my appointment is very simple. It's 10 to 15 minutes top, and I'm in and out of there maybe in like 30-40 minutes with the application. So these are the steps. So I'm gonna go over them, go over the 6 steps, and then I'm gonna go into an actual in-home, right? Okay, so the first step is the trial close. The second step is your introduction, of course, introducing what you do. The third step is, of course, finding out why you're there, right? We got to find that out in the first few minutes. The fourth step is building value over price. The fifth is going over the benefits of the plan, right? So that your clients are clear as to what you're helping them with. And then also, too, you want to make sure that you're building that. You're going over the benefits because you don't want anyone coming behind you and replacing that policy with a cheaper policy. So if you go over the benefits of the policy, the client typically would then know what they're paying for, and they will normally have those policies still remain on the books, okay? And then the sixth step is the close. So first, the trial close. Second is the introduction. Third, why you're there. Fourth, building value over price. Fifth is going over the benefits. And sixth is the close. So I believe if you follow these 6 steps, you should be on your way to having a very successful appointment. So typically, when I get there with my clients, I don't really build that much rapport. I might ask them where they're from, because that's genuine, wanting to know where someone is from. And of course, people here in Georgia, if they're from here in Georgia, I might crack a joke and be like, are you a Grady baby or something like that? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm a Grady baby, because everybody's like so proud to be a Grady baby. Okay. So, and just to break the ice right there. So that's pretty much the only rapport building I build right there and then I'm going into, of course, why I'm there. So the trial close. So first I say, I'm guessing you need some burial coverage. Is that correct? And they have to agree with that. If they don't agree with that, I'm not staying there any longer. I'm like, okay, I'm out, bye. But as long as they agree that they need some burial coverage, then I will say, okay, so this is a copy of my state license. Okay, so pretty much what I do is that I'm an independent insurance broker. I work for about 20 different companies that offer these burial coverages, right? And what I do for you is that I shop all of these companies and I try to find you the company that is going to offer you the most coverage for the lowest cost. Does that make sense? Okay. So pretty much what I have to do is, of course, depending on, I have to firstly at 5 minutes just ask you a few health questions just to figure out what you can qualify for. And of course, just another 5 minutes to ask a few financial questions just to figure out what company that's going to fit within your budget. And then I'm going to make a recommendation as to what company is going to be best suited for you. Okay. Then if we find a company that's gonna meet those requirements, what we would then do is send in an application into the underwriters. The underwriters are going to be the ones to get back to us to let us know if you'll be approved or not approved for coverage. Does that make sense, Miss Mary? Yeah? Okay. All right. Perfect. Now, Miss Mary, most of my clients that I sit with, they either don't have any coverage at all, okay? They have some, but they just don't have enough, or they just want to just leave back something behind for as a legacy for their kids. Now, which one of those categories would you fall under, right? Most of the clients that we sit with, they'll say they fall under the first one where they don't have any coverage at all. And so I'm going to probe there. I'm going to say, okay, so why don't you have any coverage? You know, have you tried applying for coverage before? Do you have some health issues, or have you just been procrastinating your whole life? And then they'll say, well, I've just been, procrastinating, or I've had health issues. So whichever one they say, I'm going to say, of course, like say, for instance, they say they had health issues. Okay, I'm like, okay, well, Miss Mary, the good thing is that I'm here and I'm a broker, and I've been able to help anyone that's had any type of pre-existing health conditions. So we'll see what we can get you approved for today. And if they say, oh, I've been procrastinating my whole life, well, I'll be like, okay, so I'm guessing that you've decided to stop procrastinating right now. Is that the reason why I'm here? And I'll wait for them to answer that question. And, typically they'll say yes. And I'll say, okay, all right, Miss Mary. So God forbid, if you were to just pass away today or tomorrow, who would be the person that would be left to pick up the pieces in the event of your death? Like, who will be the one that will be covering your burial, your funeral expenses? And she'll say, like her daughter. And then I'm going to probe. I'm like, okay, so where's your daughter? Where does she live? She lives in Ellenwood, Georgia. Okay. Does she have her own family? Yeah, she has kids and stuff. Okay. So I'm guessing that, she wouldn't be able to afford covering your expenses because she has her own life with her own kids, her own expenses. Yeah, okay. So I'm guessing, Miss Mary, that you just don't want to leave behind that burden on your daughter, right? You want to make sure that this is covered. That way you're not leaving that behind on her. Is that correct? Yes? Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So that's the reason why I'm here. All right, Miss Mary. So what type of burial do you want to have, Miss Mary? Okay, so Miss Mary's going to be like, she just she want to be buried. Okay. Now, are you from here, Miss Mary, or okay, you're from here, from Georgia? Okay, cool. So your body's not going to be transferred anywhere. No. Okay. All right. Cool. Now, do you have any bills or any debt that Miss Paula is gonna have to cover? Because at this point in time, I'm also asking the beneficiary's name, so I'm always using it back in the appointment as well. So, do you have any debt that Miss Paula is gonna have to cover in the event of your death? And she'd be like, okay, well, I have about $5,000 in like credit card bills. Okay, all right, cool deal. So I'm writing that down. Okay, and what about like any medical bills? Do you have any of those? No medical bills. Okay, Miss Mary. And what about this house? Do you own it? Do you have a mortgage? Do you rent? Okay, yeah, I actually do have a mortgage. Okay, all right, Miss Mary, no worries. Because what we do here as well is that there's a plan where we can offer your burial coverage as well as your mortgage protection for the house as well, so that Miss Paula will be able to come in, take care of the house, clean up, do what she needs to do to be able to sell the house, so she will be able to pass on the house to her, and that way she can still be able to have control over the house and what's happening with the house, and that will be passed on to her as well. So there's also a plan in place that we can use to cover the mortgage protection and your burial coverage. Does that make sense, Miss Mary? Yeah. Okay, cool deal. All right. And then do you have like any grandkids or any kids that you want to leave back anything behind for? Yeah, you have a grandkid. Okay, awesome. Cool. Do you know how much you want to leave back behind? No, just whatever is left over. Okay, all right, cool deal. That's fine, Miss Mary. Okay, Miss Mary. Now, are you taking any medications right now, Mary? Yeah, I'm taking medicines for diabetes, high blood pressure. Is that like the metformin, amlodipine, losartan, that kind of thing? Okay, gotcha. Is there anything else, Miss Mary, that you used to take in the past that you're no longer taking them anymore? Yeah, I used to take like ibuprofen back then for like pain in my hand for arthritis or whatever. Okay, cool deal. All right, Miss Mary. And then do you have any other pre-existing health conditions like any heart trouble, stroke, diabetes, cancer, COPD, anything like that? No? Okay. All right. Good deal, Miss Mary. Okay. Now, Miss Mary, I know that a lot of my clients are on a fixed income, right? So are you receiving Social Security? Okay, and are you receiving a retirement as well? Okay, all right, perfect. So for both Social Security and your retirement, what would you say you're getting from those a month? A little bit over 2,000. Okay, all right, $2,000. Okay, and like most of my clients that I sit with, Miss Mary, they typically have about half of that going out for their expenses. Is that about the same for you? And she'll say, no, maybe about a little bit more, like 70% or so. I'm like, okay, so you have a little bit of a breathing room left over each month, right, Miss Mary? Yeah, okay, all right, perfect, cool, Miss Mary. Okay, so pretty much based on the information that you told me, Miss Mary, you're gonna be needing. Because Do you know how much it is for a burial right now? No, okay. So it's between 12 to 15,000 just for your burial, right? And that's for right now. So I know that 10, 15 years from now with inflation it's gonna be more. So based on what you've just told me, I'm guessing you're gonna need some coverage anywhere in the range from about 20 to 30,000. Was that in the range what you were looking for, Miss Mary? Yeah, okay, all right. And so I went ahead and I took the liberty of quoting what those would be. So then what I would say to Miss Mary is, of course, okay, so Miss Mary, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to let you know what it would be to cover those options, okay? And then you're going to, excuse me, and then you're going to be the one that's going to pick the one that's going to be best suited for your budget, okay? But in order for you to be approved for these type of coverages, you do need to have a valid checking account and a valid ID. Do you have those two things, Miss Mary? Yeah, okay, all right, perfect. And so I'll come back to Miss Mary with the options, right? So I'll write out 30,000, 25,000, and 20,000. So then I'm going to go over those with Miss Mary. So I'm going to say, okay, Miss Mary, so 30,000, this is going to be your natural death, right? In the event of like an accident, it's going to double to 60,000. And then in the event of like a common carrier, like say God forbid if you pass away like on a plane like Kobe or something like that, yeah, it would triple. So it will pay them out 90,000, right? And that would be about 144.98 a month. The same for the 25, 25, 50, 75. That would be 121. The 20,000, 20, 40, 60. That would be about 97.50 a month. Okay. Now with these plans, Miss Mary, and I typically always go over with them this sheet right here, the file expense benefit plan features. It's on the FFL new agent website. So if you don't have a copy of it, just go on there, FFL new agent. You'll be able to pull it up real easy. So I typically just go over the features with her real quickly, just let her know of exactly what she's getting. So I'll be like, Miss Mary's going to be permanent coverage, so it won't ever expire until you expire, okay? Your death benefit is going to remain level. Your premium is going to remain level. It's going to pass on to your beneficiary. That way, that avoids them having to go through probate and court. Going to pass out tax-free. With this carrier, it does double for an accident. It's also going to cover you, Miss Mary, for like a chronic or critical illness. It builds cash value, and then it will be immediately effective if you're approved. Now, that's the thing, Miss Mary. I don't know if whether or not you will be approved. We would, of course, have to send it into the underwriters, and then the underwriters will get back to us, and they will let us know if you will be approved. But if you were to be approved, which one of these three options would work best for you, Miss Mary? And then typically she'll pick either the middle option or the higher option or the lower option, whichever option she decides to go with. So that's it, pretty much, guys. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple That's how I go over my in-home. I believe if you guys follow those 6 simple steps, you'll be able to help clients in and out, be real assumptive, trial close throughout the appointment so that you know for a fact that they're tracking with you, and you know for a fact that they need coverage and they need coverage immediately. So follow those 6 simple steps, guys, and you have final expense success. Hopefully I was able to help you guys today. Take care, have a great day. Let's keep on killing it, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye bye.